has long been a source of inspiration for mankind. Every now and then we have a little drink, maybe a couple of drinks. Then confusion sets in. What's happening to us? We start pondering our existence. We start thinking about life, the universe. We get confused. Then at that magical moment when we've had just enough, we become enlightened. We become drunk philosophers, the smartest beings in the entire universe, where all the greatest ideas come from. Sometimes the greatest ideas in the world are thought up on a drunken night. Welcome to Drunk Philosophers.
Well, ahoy, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good night so far. Hold on, my camera's all screwed up. Thank you, Logitech 920, doing whatever the fuck you want to do. So this is Drunk Philosophers. We're going to be going into a very sensitive topic. So as always, we are TVMA. And with that, I mean, if you are offended easily by words or phrases, this is not the fucking stream for you. This stream can go really well or it can go very poorly, but that's all dependent on you. But before we get into it, of course, I have to have my partner in crime. And we didn't do intros in the other video. We just came up. But you know what? I can't not have Jimmy up and not have an intro. So here we go. Ahoy, brother.
Oh, ahoy, ahoy. Oh man, I'm telling you, here's the thing about this stream is this is exactly what this was born for. This show was born for this because me and you were talking about something along these lines, and we thought, man, doesn't it suck that you can't just openly talk about this stuff? And I think me and Travis have called bullshit on the world. We are going to openly talk about this. We are not taking sides. We're not saying we're right. We're not saying we're wrong. But God damn it, we got the right to talk about things.
This is true. And before we start, I just want to say to everybody in chat, we were at the pre-party. We said hi to everybody in the pre-party. Thank you all for joining. I feel like I just want to get right to the conversation instead of going name by name. But to everybody here, ahoy.
Oh, get you a new member.
We love you. What? Oh, McNeil Entertainment. So I have to give, I have Eileen that gave a $5 super chat. People, y'all don't have to give $5. You don't have to give super chats.
Super chat is ass.
It's
y'all.
appreciated.
Make him cry. No,
it's
super chat him till he cries, y'all. Super chat him till he cries. Come on, let's do it.
But you don't have to. Thank you. And welcome, McNeil Entertainment. We will figure out your squirrel since you have now enlisted in the squirrel army. But not on this stream. It will have to be on one of our other streams. We'll have to figure out what your squirrel is. But for y'all for enlisting and giving a super chat, thank you.
Thank you!
All right.
And I'm telling you, this Logitech looks so much better than the Razer I had hooked up before. I will never buy another Razer product.
I can't give you I can't
what
give you
happened?
a thank you when you're the one that makes the thank yous for me.
What? Oh man, I didn't. Did I do that? I'm sorry. No, Travis.
Here,
Travis
this
deserves.
is the one and only time. This is a little bit longer one. This is the one and only time that's being played tonight. So
Fuck
Jimmy,
yeah.
just letting you know, you and me, you're the little spoon.
So in tasting, what we do is take a small amount and line off the top. It doesn't take much. That's the warmest part right here. I'm going to invert the spoon. Cover all 9,000 taste buds. Aerate it. Warm it up. Driving up. That top note. That cream. Pure vanilla. Sweeteners. That's a 10.
All
That is
I'm
the only
saying
time
is
we're playing that tonight.
that man knows how to keep his woman at home. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying that dude, he don't get paid the big bucks just for eating ice cream. So
See, Jimmy,
bam,
people keep giving super chats, and I'm trying to get to a conversation, and you keep
bring
making
it
me do
up,
the
folks.
thank you.
Come on, folks.
Guys,
Hit him in the heart,
guys,
folks. Keep
seriously.
it coming. Keep it coming.
Seriously, you don't have to do that,
No.
but I really do appreciate it.
You guys
All
got to
the
realize.
stuff.
You guys got to realize how much me and him are really putting out there for y'all on this one. So keep them coming.
All the stuff goes right to the channel. So Mayberry, Jacob, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep showing the same video over and over again. I gotta. Well, I don't have to make it. Jimmy, I need you to make me new thank you videos.
I will
So-
just tell you guys, I'm gonna break my fingers trying to make the heart. I can't do it. Like my fingers physically, I can't. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
And thank you, Peppers.
Yeah.
And
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. We love y'all. I'll get some new videos, some new thank you videos made. You do not know, like, how much that does touch you when folks start rolling in these super chats. Travis has got a pretty good poker face, but I know his little heart's a fluttering right now because he's feeling the love. So
Well, I feel the love. I mean, we got members, we got people in the Squirrel Army. I love all y'all, and
yeah,
that's
you
what this is
guys
about.
share
It's
this
about
out.
yeah, and make sure to like. If you want to give the thumbs down, you do what you want. If you like this stuff, give a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give a thumbs down. Share it out with your friends. Let's bring some people in. Let's have some good discussion. Maybe we can dig deep today and
We
find
are
out.
going to dig deep. We are going to use our YouTube powers for good, and that's why me and Travis are besties, because we are the beginnings of the new Justice League. We are using our YouTube powers for good.
But I'm like Batman, and you're like Aquaman.
I'll take Aquaman. Girls
you
are
won't,
wet for
you won't
Aquaman
waste
right
whiskey.
now. No, I won't. I'm not the Jason Momoa Aquaman. I'm like the old. I just talk to fish, and people talk shit about me, Aquaman.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I fucked a dolphin. But
I thought I was
somebody-
more like the penguin. Yeah.
if somebody in chat can help JDQ if he wants to join the membership, I'm just trying to. Let's get into it.
Okay. All right. We put it off long enough. We are stalling. Let's do it.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous about tonight, man. I'm nervous.
Nothing to be nervous about. Speak from your heart. You're a good person. Just speak from your heart, man. That's all you gotta do.
So what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about racism in America.
It's a big one. That's a big one.
I noticed that you added flames to this one.
I did. That's a 150 proof topic right there.
So I'm just letting everybody know, if you were not in the Enlightenment period before on Jimmy's channel, we're going to talk a little bit about our personal experiences and stuff like that. But then we're going to be going to the chat. We're going to be going to the chat and saying, what on this topic would you like to discuss, or what you would like to get our opinion on? And again, everything tonight is opinion. None of us are pulling out numbers and all of that stuff, because people can get, depending on where the numbers come from and how they're presented, can be skewed one way or the other. We're not asking for proof. It's just, what would you like to get our opinion and our discussion on, and where would you like
Well,
us to go? So
So
I just want
here's
y'all
the
to,
one thing we've learned over the last couple of years is there is no such thing as proof. You can put anything you want out there.
I mean, I'm not saying anything. The coof.
Oh, I would so much rather do the political debate, but let's fucking do this, man. Let's go.
So everybody start thinking about different things in this topic that you would like us to discuss, because me and Jimmy, if you don't know me and Jimmy from prior streams, we are open books and we absolutely do speak our mind. We're going to speak our opinion, and
We vote completely differently, best of friends, but we could not disagree more on most topics.
But this is a discussion to bring me and Jimmy together, and hopefully people hear other people's opinions and stuff like that. And instead of arguing and knocking each other down and calling each other bigots or whatever it is that the world calls today, we don't do that shit here. We're here to actually listen to the other person, have discussion, listen to their opinion, and even the people in chat. We're here to listen to your opinion as well. But if you have a certain topic or discussion you want us to discuss, start thinking about that, and we will tell you all when to put that in.
We don't need gatekeepers. We need conversations.
Yeah.
We don't need people jumping on each other just for saying a word. We need conversations. People need to be able to speak their mind. So that's why we're doing this, because I didn't want to do it. I did not want to fucking do this. But I would be a hypocrite, and this channel would mean nothing if I didn't do this tonight.
That's true. So, before we start with anything, we have to have a definition. We have to understand what racism is, not what people in the media or anything else has said racism is. We are going to Webster's Dictionary, Merriam-Webster. So, racism, a belief that race is a fundamental detriment of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority to another race. Everybody see that? That is what we're discussing today. Also, behavior or attitude that reflect and foster this belief, racial discrimination or prejudice. That is the definition. I believe to have any good discussion, you have to have a clear understanding of what the definition of it is, not what today's society has made racism about, but the actual definition. So hopefully everybody is clear on what the definition of racism. Jimmy, are you good with the definition? Do you have anything to add to the definition? All right. So a belief that race is a fundamental detriment of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race.
Okay.
All right. So when we're starting this out, first of all, are there racists in America? Yes. Are there racists around the entire world? Yes.
Hell yeah, there are.
So, Jimmy, what I would like to start with is, again, we're talking about personal experience. This is anecdotal evidence of racism and stuff like that. It is not widespread. It's not necessarily a fact. It's what each person has experienced, and we will give our own little perspective on it. And Jimmy, you actually, this involves like family and marriage and all that stuff. So everybody, please listen to Jimmy and see where he's coming from on this. And again, if you're offended by stuff or whatever, don't be. This is a discussion.
Now I'm going to go way back in time, because you got to understand that I was born and raised right here in the hills of Arkansas, right here in Johnson County, Arkansas. I did not see a person of color until I was 7 years old. Harrison, Arkansas the headquarters of the KKK is not too far from here. Just right on the other side of the mountain from me. As a matter of fact, I just drove through that town the other day going to Branson.
Mhm.
And I'm reminded of that every time I drive through that town because it's very obvious what that town is about still to this day. Now, I've got some YouTube buddies that live there, and they're good folks. Don't get me wrong. Just because you're from a certain area, you look a certain way, or you sound a certain way, doesn't make you a bad person. Just because you're limited cultural entanglements doesn't make you a bad person. So I grew up back here, and again, I'm not proud of it, but yeah, when I was a little kid, I was as racist as anybody in Harrison because I didn't know.
How would
Well,
you be
I didn't.
racist?
I was taught. I was taught. The N word was no stranger to me when I was a little kid, with a hard R, the N word, and I'm not proud of it, and I'm not denying it. I would be a fucking liar and a hypocrite if I denied it. Okay, uh, that's. I was born and raised back here. It was
Mhm.
you would get your ass beat back here if you didn't have that view. So one of the best things that ever happened to me, my mom and my dad split up, and then my dad died when I was 11, and we ended up moving to California. So I went from Johnson County, Arkansas, being raised using that N word with a hard R. That's the way I was born and raised. To overnight, I moved to California, and now I'm in a whole another planet. Like this is weird. It's different for me, and so when I got to California, you know what the one thing I discovered was, Travis?
What's that?
There's more people there that use that N word with the hard R than there is in Arkansas.
No shit. Like
No
people weren't
shit.
like clutching pearls and shitting in the street in
So
California.
so people have this concept of California like it's just this utopia of brotherhood and hippie peace and all this. It's not. There are a few hot spots of that in California, right down the coastline. But for the most part, California is more redneck than Arkansas is. But the good thing is this, is that I was exposed to and got to meet and got to go to school with and hang out with a bunch of different cultures. A lot of Mexican kids I ran with, a lot of black kids I ran with, a lot of Filipino kids and Filipino kids I ran with. And guess what? I found out that they're exactly like us. Like there's legitly nothing was different. And then I started seeing how they were treated and I've always been the little short guy, but I've always hated bullies. And I have had my ass beat by a lot of big ass bullies in my life, but I will still make sure they don't ever want to do it again. If I got to bite them on the calf on the way out. But I did a lot of fighting and it was rough. And I, for the first time, found myself in some communities and some situations where I was the minority. I was the outcast, and I didn't like that shit at all. But guess what? You know,
I want you to remember that one sentence right there. You are the minority, you are the outcast, because there's a question I have for you after we're done with this.
So I got to feel just a little bit of it. But here's the thing: is I could just go back home, right? It's not like I was in the sea in the middle of a desert where I couldn't get out of it. All I had to do was go a couple blocks over, then I'm right back in my element, right? Which it's horrible. It's horrible. But that's kind of the way it is in California. Especially you get down around LA and stuff. One block to the next block is a whole different world of people.
It's like
If you're
Paradise
from
to
there,
Ghetto in one block. Yeah.
well, if you're from there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the other thing is, and again, I realize to my core, this is two white guys talking about this subject. We don't have any authority over this, but I did realize one thing, that you don't have to be white to be a racist, because I heard a lot more hardcore shit from the families that I went and had dinner with that were not white than I ever did sitting around my dinner table. And believe me, I had one of my best buddies. I went to wrestling. I wrestled with in high school. His name was Art Contreras. His mom, his dad, his whole family just adopted my ass. And I stayed at their house a lot. I went over there and ate, but man, they were the most like just hardcore racist people. And it made me uncomfortable, you know.
How so? How are they racist people?
Well, they were racist against black folks, and they were Latino, of course. They were Mexican. And I hate when people are afraid to say Mexican, like it's a bad thing. They're from Mexico. They're Mexican, you know. But they were racist against black folks. Hardcore. Like, and so you come to realize, like, this is not just a black and white problem. This is a human condition problem, right? This is a tribalism problem, and we talked about it a lot, and I talk about it a lot, where people tribalize themselves. Everybody, this stupid victim culture that we have going on, right? And it's kind of taken over the whole world. If my life sucks, it's because somebody else fucked it up.
So no personal accountability.
No personal accountability. If my life sucks, if I did some bad shit, it's somebody else's fault. And I'm the liberal guy up here. I'm the Democrat voting hippie of the bunch, and I'm saying that. Okay.
So you're hanging out with your friends.
Yeah.
And
I grew up in California. I was exposed to different cultures. I realized that we are all exactly the same fucking species. There really is no differences. And when I say there's no differences, I mean there's no fucking differences. All the shit that one group will point the finger at to another group, say like somebody was pointing the finger at me and Travis, they're doing the same shit behind closed doors. So I grew up in California. I graduated high school in 1990. How old were you in 1990, Travis?
I was 6.
6. I graduated high school in 1990, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm getting out of California. I can't take this shit anymore. Because I legitly had gangbangers and shit that didn't like me. I felt like something bad was going to happen to me. I got out of California and moved back to Arkansas. Got back here to Arkansas, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the company called Tyson's.
Tyson's
You ever heard
chicken?
of Tyson's meat? Yeah, Tyson's chicken, Tyson's meat.
I like Tyson's.
So Tyson's, in the time I was gone to California, because when I left Arkansas in the early 80s and moved to California, I come back to Arkansas in 1990. In that amount of time, Tyson Chicken had converted Arkansas into a more Latino state than I just left in California. They were busing illegal immigrants in, and this is Tyson, and I'm talking about Tyson's, busting them in as fast as they could in the early 90s. They would help them get their paperwork and all this shit. The only reason Tyson's become so profitable back then is because that's what they were doing. They would legitly bus them in. There was buses that would come in. They had setups. There was offices downtown where they could go get their paperwork fixed. So it is what it is. And all my family and friends had no idea. Like they were just aghast at all this. But I come back here and I fit right in. It's like I never left California. It's kind of like I got the best of both worlds. But now there's we're on about our third generation of those folks that were bussed in. So this part of Arkansas is legitly got a 3-generation Latino heritage built up already. Mm-hmm. It's not going anywhere. It's here. Like I don't care. I don't know what people think's going to happen, but they're not going anywhere. They're as much Arkansan as I am at this point. So I'm yes. Well, the third generation is they were born here, just like me and you.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
You know the history of my family. Did I ever tell you this?
Well, is it sticking to the subject? Because
it is sticking to the subject.
Okay.
Hardcore sticking to the subject. My family was run out of Germany because they were Lutheran. They were run out of Germany back in the 1700s. They came over here. They headed out from Virginia, heading as far west as they could. Their wagons and shit broke down in the middle of Arkansas. That's how we ended up here. There's a little plantation down the road from me. I will take you there when you come here. There's what's called the Steel Cemetery. Mm-hmm. It's got the Arbaugh family graves out there from the 1700s and all their slave graves right there with them. So that's where my family came from.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, I get back here to Arkansas. The thing was I couldn't find a girlfriend because everybody's related to me back here. Like I've got over 500 cousins, legitly. And I kind of wanted to put at least one branch.
In Arkansas. What else is there to do besides that?
Well, look, I'm not into the cousin thing. But so I wanted to put one branch in the family tree. So I joined the Air Force and took off for Montana. That's where I ended up. And then 1 year later, this little half Filipino girl, Marcia Dale, moves into my dorm next to me because, hey, in the Air Force, Travis, we have co-ed dorms. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's where you met the beautiful Marcia Dale.
That is, she joined. It was pretty faithful because she joined exactly 1 year after I did. She was up in Minnesota. She had just got through living in Oklahoma. She moved in next door to me in a very tumultuous time in both of our lives, and we found each other.
Okay.
And you guys have all seen Marcia Dale. Yeah,
smoking.
She is smoking, but she doesn't look white, right?
No.
So after it's time for my enlistment's up, and it's been a rough 4 years. I said, Marcia Dale, ooh, you got a new member, JDQ. Look at that.
We'll finish this discussion, and I'll give the thank you.
So I said, Marcia Dale, I'm about to get out of the Air Force. We're both ETSing. Do you want to go back to Minnesota, or do you want to go down to Arkansas? I said, because I could give a shit either way. And she said, I want to go to Arkansas because I fucking hate Minnesota.
Just wait.
So we moved back here to Arkansas. And for the first...
So are y'all married at this point?
We are married. Got 2 kids at this point. We moved back here, have our 3rd kid. And from the time I moved back here, for about the first 10 years, everything on the surface seemed great. Like the family all really seemed to take to Marcia Dale. They all loved her. And I got this one particular family member who was my best friend. He was my Travis. I had known him since I was a kid. He's 1 year older than me, my first cousin. Everything we did, we always did together. And he came to my house every night. And I truly loved him like a brother. But I found out that he'd been talking all this racist shit about Marcia Dale behind my back.
What do you mean by racist shit? Who was he talking to, and what I'm not saying like you have to say what he said. But
Well,
what
he was
kind are we
talking.
talking
He
about?
was talking to somebody because his wife worked for me in Marcedale because I was a manager and she was my lead operator at this other facility that I worked at.
Okay.
So his wife worked for us. She really got upset at Marcedale, and then he had known her since I'd married her and had treated her like gold right up until that point. But then I come to find out there was a third party that worked there that they ran into while getting their tires changed, and then we're all just sitting in the lobby, and he just unloaded all this racist, horrible, Oriental talking shit about Marcedale to this other
Because she's
guy
Filipino.
because she's
Oh,
Filipino.
half Filipino. Or
Well, she's half
Filipino.
Filipino, but she's not white. So he unloaded all this stuff about how I shouldn't have never been married to her, shouldn't have, and so this is a person I'd known my whole life, was as close to me as anybody could be, was at my house at least every other night of the week for most of my life. Smooth, cut him off, called him, had to talk, and we were done. And
So did he like flat out say what he's like, yeah, that happened, or
I didn't give him the chance. I already told him I knew exactly what happened. And all he could say was He knew he was busted.
yeah.
And then it's over, man. Like if I'm done with the person, I'm done with them. And it's sad because the rest of his family, to the best of my knowledge, really does love Marcedale. And they talk to her on end. She is the one, how would you say, the one exotic jewel that we have crowned on this family.
She's the diamond in the rough.
Yeah. She is the one that
the Cave of Wonders would say in Latin.
she's the one that makes us
Seek
shine.
thee out, thy diamond in the rough.
Now my kids really do not look Filipino. They don't. I mean, you can see it if they're sitting there next to Marcedale, but they really don't look Filipino or Filipina, So, and I kind of wish they did. I kind of wish they were just as black headed and black eyed as possible. But
you hear that, Jess? If you're here, we're talking about you.
yeah, Jessica's my little. Everybody called her my little Indian girl because that's kind of how everybody saw her. She did have jet black hair and little dark eyes when she was young, but as she grew up, she got brown eyes. She almost got green eyes like me, but she ended up with brown eyes. Oh, if she's watching this, she's gonna be so mad at me. There you go.
You gave me your short legs. And chat, we are watching what you're saying. Don't think we're ignoring you. We're just trying to get our portion done. Then we're gonna.
But Jessica knows what I'm talking about, and she knows that was a very hard time, and that when it came down to time to choose between the love of my life and my family over this racist, stupid bullshit, the choice was easy for me. Now, I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm not saying people don't have legit concerns or questions or statistics, but I'm just telling you, people are good regardless of how they look like, regardless of how they sound like. If they're good, keep them in your heart. If not, cut them loose. I'm going to shut up because I've got to go pee bad.
All right. So Jimmy's talking about how racism and stuff, like it cut him off from like a best friend in his family, and how people are not necessarily upfront and what it is. So again, chat, I'm going to talk my little piece and then we're going to come to y'all on what y'all want to discuss. So start thinking about what it is y'all would like us to discuss. And when the chat drives up, I'm drunk. I'm sorry. This is Drunk Philosophers. When the chat dries up, that's when the stream is over. Or if YouTube takes us down, I don't know. They see the title, like, oh my god, we're gonna shut this shit down. They're gonna like agree with each other and shit. Oh, it's crazy. So Jimmy can catch up. I just hate dead air.
I'm
There we
back.
go.
I'm back.
All right, so just a little bit of my background, my little story. I grew up in Texas, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that red state, it's crazy."
It's kind of red. Arkansas is like blood red.
So when it comes to Texas, the first thing that pops people's mind is like illegal immigration and all that stuff. First of all, I'm against illegal immigration. Period. Not so, and just because illegal immigration, that has nothing to do with race. Because people that are coming in, because I am a border state, I have lost jobs to illegal immigrants growing up before I joined the military. I consider myself a nationalist, and before y'all say, "Whoa, he's a white nationalist," I am white, and I am a nationalist. I believe in taking care of America before we take care of other countries. That is my belief. Or taking care of people that are not American citizens. That is my belief. So if I am a white nationalist, then that's what I am. Not white nationalist as in the aspect of what the media and stuff says a white nationalist is. I won't even say nationalist. I will say I'm a white Americanist. I want to take care of Americans before I take care of other people. That has nothing to do with race because people that do illegal immigration are from Spain, from Ethiopia, from Mexico, from Portugal, from Germany. Illegal immigration is bad in my book, period. But again, I grew up in Texas. Every person I worked with or I worked for growing up, it was there was a heavy Hispanic population because it is Texas. It is a border state, and with immigration and stuff that happens, all for it as long as it's legal. So, not racist in that fact. I just want legal. If you break the law, you don't belong here. Period. And then September 11th happened. September 12th, I joined the Army to be a medic, and I've been in the Army for the last 19 years. As far as I knew, growing up in the military, damn it, camera, stop being a jackass.
It's weird that I look better than you do. Not
Come on,
physically
man.
look better, but my camera looks better than yours.
I don't know why it's not focusing. It's being crazy. Oh, there we go. So, in the military, I know with this, and again, not getting political, but I know with this new administration, it's all about, oh, the white supremacy in the military and all this racism and stuff. I have been in the military for 19 years, almost 20. And this stuff that people are talking about now, I have not seen it. Are there people that probably got passed over, or are there EO issues? Absolutely. Because it turns out when we were at war, we accepted everybody. Everybody came in, everybody was accepted, and everybody had their own point of view. And I got you, Phil. I'm being very careful with what I say. But I was taught in the military that the person on my left and my right, regardless of race, religion, or creed, they're American soldiers. They are my brother and sister in arms. So I have not had the experience of what today's society and the newest administration says, that there's rampant racism and stuff in the military. I have not seen it. I have not experienced it. And even because I work with a bunch of instructors with wide ranges of ethnicities, there are people that have an understanding of racism in America as a whole. but none of them have actually given me examples or even discussed or said to me that they have experienced racism in the military. Because I can tell you right now, as a white male, cis white male, or whatever trigger words y'all want to say, I was passed over for promotion a lot, and it had nothing to do with it. I believe that people should be on their merit and their character, not necessarily their skin color, and I've always been raised that way. So, as a white person, that a white Americanist, I believe in the concept of America. Now, Jimmy, the question I have for
Highlight
you,
B Lady's comment real quick before you keep going.
which one?
The last one she just put in there, because she's not wrong.
It's true.
Yep.
But Jimmy, do you believe that racism has gotten worse in America lately?
I don't think it's gotten worse. I don't think it's gotten better. I just think it's gotten focused. It sells commercials on news outlets, right? I think racism has always been there. And I don't know, unless there is some fundamental change in the human condition, I think it's always going to be there. And I don't think you have to be of a certain color to be a racist or not a racist.
So are you saying people can be racist against white people?
Well, they can, but it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm telling you, I've been around Asian cultures, Latinos. I've been around black folks, and I've been around the most hillbilly of hillbilly folks. I'm telling you, most people have a good heart, and they really have empathy, and they really do care about other folks. It is just a lack of contact. It is a lack of communication, and our media, and to a certain point, our society does a great job at keeping us separated, keeping us into our little tribes, where all of my problems are because of you, and that's our problem. All of our problems are not because of somebody else.
That is the exact point I was trying to make. I think racism was getting better. And again, everybody, chill out. Opinion. What I've seen in my life. This is anecdotal. So chill out before you jump on me.
I will say it's gotten better above the table, out in the open. It's gotten better.
So I think as I was growing up, and people are not going to like this, and when I joined the military, when I was in high school, we learned about history, we learned about slavery, we learned about the America's founding, how it is, and from what I saw growing up, it was getting better. It was getting more to the forefront. People were understanding, people were more accepting, and it was getting better. That's what I saw. Now, again, I'm a white guy, lives in Texas.
Yeah.
But from everything I saw in my personal experience, racism was not a big part of society when it came to my area. And no, I was not living in a predominantly white society area and stuff like that. I was in Fort Worth, Dallas area, which is heavy minority, a liberal bastion, so to say, where it was heavily minority and people were generally accepted for what they are. and who they are. Ahoy, TJ. But I saw it getting better. And before anybody jumps down my throat, where I saw the turn, and let me get through this completely before people start going crazy.
Phil's already getting dragged down, so be careful, man.
Oh,
and y'all let folks in the chat speak their mind. Don't start just bashing each other. It's good to have a discussion.
Everybody's personal opinions are their personal opinions. Now
I do not agree with Phil. I do not agree with Phil either. But I'm not. I will never bash him. So I don't want anybody bashing.
I have not really been able to read chat right now, so I don't know what's going on. But
well, no.
I'll lose it.
Phil's talking about what you're fixing to talk about. What I feel like you're fixing to talk about, and I get it.
What am I fixing to talk about?
Well, Phil is talking about the liberal media.
No, I'm not talking about the liberal media.
Okay. Well, Phil was talking about the liberal media. He's got every right to his opinion. I don't agree with it. You can call bullshit on it, but that's as far as
we have 36 people here. I'm scared now.
And believe me, y'all feel free to call bullshit on me too. I believe I've spat a lot of bullshit out up here.
So I saw racism and the history of racism getting better until I was already in the military, because I joined in 2001, September 12th, 2001. 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I was in basic training because I wanted to go and serve my country. Where I saw a massive turn in this country. Are you ready?
It's getting hot. I'm ready, but it's getting hot in the chat. Y'all, do me a favor. Take it down one notch in the chat. Just one notch, please.
Where I saw the turn was once people stopped considering themselves American. And as much as people are going to be pissed off, that started with President Obama. And I voted for President Obama the first time. I did. And I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain why.
Can I say one thing? Okay, go ahead. But I'm going to say something about that.
Where I saw the separation is when it started becoming a political cudgel, when racism started becoming political, where it became, well, this kid, he was treated this way because he was a certain color, and this is going to go into the cops and all that stuff, and I'm not wanting to get into that yet. I'm just saying that is where I started to see the divide. That's where I started to see it blow up and get worse, because it was when people stopped thinking of themselves as American. Again, this is racism in America. This isn't racism around the world. This is racism in America. I see when people stopped considering themselves American and started adding different labels to stuff, or had to be individuals instead of as a whole collective. And this is kind of what you talked about, Jimmy. People that are racism or anything that comes up, the differences in people, because differences causes strife. Once you started making a group of people individuals and singling them out, it caused issues to where, because any group against, just think about high school football in Texas or any sports team, your rival is your rival because they're from a different place or a different state and all that stuff. That's what it is.
Because you were raised to accept that they're
not
your
necessarily.
rival.
It was just because they're different. There are differences. I mean, as much as we like to say we're all a human race, there are differences. Melanin. I'm not saying anything where like racial people are like, oh, the brain is no, none of that stuff is different. I'm just saying physical appearances and stuff is different, which is fine because we're a melting pot. But I believe when people start segregating themselves and making themselves an individual instead of a whole, it causes strife and differences, and it causes competition. It causes these sort of things. So once it became a political cudgel, did I say that right? I'm really drunk right now. Political cudgel, where it became politically expedient to say, "Oh, that's racist," instead of just having a disagreement. Because I can tell you right now, any discussion you have with somebody, if they're just to say you're racist, that's where the conversation ends. That's used as a way of having a conversation to end, because a lot of people don't have a discussion to have.
That's pulling a knife in a fist fight.
But I don't agree with that. Where everybody says everything is racist nowadays, I don't believe that everything is racist. I don't believe a lot of things are racist that people say are racist nowadays, because again, we had the definition of racism saying that somebody's, again, I will say, a belief that race is a fundamental detriment of human traits and capacities, and that racial differences produce an inherent superiority of a particular race. Whatever happened to just being American?
What?
Where we had a collective goal, a move
Yeah.
forward to, but once you started separating groups, and it doesn't even have to be about race, where you have liberals, Republicans, conservatives, LGBTQ,
Yeah.
straight, black, white, gray. Once you started separating groups, because when I joined the Army in September 12th, 2001, we were
we
all
were all
fucking Americans.
Yeah, we were fucking ready to go, man. All of us.
And it's sad that in our society today, it takes a massive tragedy to bring people back together. And then when we get complacent, when we get comfortable, that is when people start saying, oh, there's these massive differences. No, in my mind, where I was raised in the military, because I was raised right after September 11th, went to war with some of the greatest people I ever knew, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. I don't give a shit. We all bleed red.
Yep.
We are all Americans. We have joined for a purpose to do our job. And I think that society now has separated so many people and not having the clear understanding of what America is. I'm sorry. If you are an African American, the key word in that is American. If you're a Mexican American, you're American. I do not care about your color, race, or creed. It is about a collective whole. It is about moving forward as a society. And I can't believe I'm sounding like this, because I'm kind of sound like a socialist, like liberal. Be like, hey, as a society moving forward.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I
But
got
I'm
your back,
saying
man. I'll say
America,
something super bad here in a second to make up
people
for it.
that are Americans are Americans. People are like, oh, illegal immigration, you're racist. No, because there's illegal immigration coming from every other country, not just Mexican American, not Mexicans or from Mexico. There's people that are black, white, yellow, brown, whatever. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm not racist because I'm against illegal immigration. I just don't like people breaking the law. I want to follow the laws of the land. And
no,
I
we
just
break
want
a lot
people
of
to see
laws.
themselves, because once people become Americans, guess what? They're Americans. But if you're American, again, people, oh man, people are getting capital letters. We're Americans. Yeah, we're not born with hatred in our heart. But here's the thing. I think the hatred in people's hearts is actually bred from seeing differences in people and not accepting them. And I don't necessarily think that. Fuck, I lost my train. I'm sorry, but I'm really drunk.
Oh, okay. Can
yeah,
I
ahead,
address?
and
Can I address the whole? Because Phil is definitely laying it down in the chat, and you guys all know I love Phil like a brother, but I
haven't even read the chat yet. I gotta go back.
I don't agree with Phil, but I do love him, and he has every right to feel the way he does. And you talked about how kind of society and things changed. during like the Obama administration, right? That's also about the time that a little thing called social media started really taking off, right?
Oh, we had a discussion about this.
We did.
We had a drunk philosopher discussion about social media.
We did. Social media is the best, worst thing that's ever happened. The worst thing about social media is it tribalizes people. If you're looking for a bunch of like-minded people that just want to agree with you, that are just going to put out a zinger out there so you can win an argument or prove your point, I can type up any random shit I wanted to and post it on something that looked like an official website, and then copy and paste that shit to Facebook, and 2 million people will take that for the gospel and run to the hills with it. Oh, looky here, looky here. Now, we talk about I'm going to skirt this, but I'm not getting into this one. Phil's talking about the riots of 2020.
Oh,
right?
I have a feeling that we're going to get there eventually.
Well, if we do, this is all I'm going to say about it. It's not right to ever hurt anybody else. It's not right to ever think that you can destroy somebody else's livelihood or hurt them physically, emotionally. I don't care what point you're trying to prove. You should not hurt other people, period, ever. That's my stand on the 2020 riots. Social media, and we did this little experiment before where I brought up my Facebook, you brought up your Facebook, two completely different fucking worlds, right? You are going to be fed whatever it is that you're looking for because they are just out to sell advertisements on shit that you want to see. So don't ever think that you're getting some kind of correct information out there. Just vote with your heart how you feel like. The people that did not vote the same way you did are not your fucking enemies. They just voted a different way. I don't agree with just... You cannot sit here and just unabashedly destroy the left-wing media without looking at your Tucker Carlsons, with your fucking, Alex Joneses and shit like that. That shit goes both ways, and it goes too far both ways. Both of those, your Anderson Cooper and your fucking Alex Jones are on opposite ends of shit. They are just selling commercials to people. You got to understand, those are just characters that they play on TV to sell you commercials. Alex Jones has had to say that in court. So is Tucker Carlson. And most of the left-wing talking heads are the same way. That is a character they portray because the news is not about facts anymore. It is about selling you an opinion. It's about selling you some talking points that you can bring up on Pawpaw's porch the next day to get everybody riled up. That everything that's wrong in your life is because of somebody else. It's somebody else's fucking fault. That's where we're losing our balls as Americans, right there.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch them on chat. And I'm having trouble reading because I can't see straight, even with these glasses.
Tucker Carlson, Phil, I'm going to say this straight up. Tucker Carlson is a straight up piece of fucking shit. He is a chicken shit that never served one day in the military his whole fucking life. Fuck that guy. And I'm just asking questions. I don't fucking go for that shit. I fucking hate Tucker Carlson. He's the worst goddamn person that's ever been put on fucking TV. Little chicken shit, piece of shit, fuck face. I hate him. All right. I'm out.
Oh, I'm almost done.
I'm sorry I got mad. I fucking hate Tucker Carlson.
Okay. So, I have a belief.
Your camera's
Jimmy
fucked
has.
up, brother.
God damn it, man! What the? I don't understand what's going on with this camera. I need to get my other shit set up.
Yeah, Don Lemon is just as bad as Tucker Carlson, Phil. Don Lemon's just as fucking bad. But Tucker Carlson, he will burn this motherfucker down.
I'm sorry, people. I'm trying to get this fixed. And hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta let the dogs out. They're sitting there barking. I'll be right back, and then hopefully it'll like correct itself. So, Jimmy, talk for a couple more minutes.
Okay. All right. I'm coming down now. I'm sorry. I got so heated. The Tucker Carlsons, the Don Lemons, the fucking goddamn people that are just feeding you all this shit to keep you stirred up, to keep you pissed off. They piss me off because of that. Not because of the message. It's just because they keep everybody all stirred up. It's bullshit. There's plenty of fucking talking heads on the left that do the same shit. Like you said, Don Lemon. Who the fuck is Don Lemon to try to tell me what to think? And who the fuck is Tucker Carlson to tell you what to think? Who the fuck is Alex Jones? Alex Jones is a goddamn character. He's a nutcase character. He said so himself in court documents. I wish that Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper and all those would get called out to have to do the same thing, because that extreme opinion bullshit is what's killing us. Chris Cuomo he's a made man. He's an inside guy. His fucking dad was governor. His brother was governor. Yeah, Chris Cuomo ain't got there's nobody on CNN that's worth a shit. Wolf Blitzer is a big piece of shit. He can't wait. He's like an ambulance chaser. He can't wait for some horrible shit to happen so he can jump up on TV, look like fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula with the big fucking hair and stuff, and ramble on for 5 fucking days and just keeping everybody all tense and shit. It's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all of that is just a bunch of shit. It's not about the fucking news anymore. They are telling you what to think. Fox, like you go to like Newsmax and OAN and all that shit. My God, those are fucking ridiculous. Fuck those sites. You know they're bullshit. You know they're as much bullshit as I do. They're just giving you talking points. They're just validating whatever shit you want to talk about. It's not based in reality. They're selling commercials. They're selling t-shirts. And damn, I went and got fired up.
It's okay. It fixed my camera a little bit because Amber and Devin just got home. Dogs going crazy and all that stuff. So Devin went to a skate night tonight. So she just got home.
Phil, you know I love you. I get my shit from where I get it. I'm not out there doing my research on Facebook and shit like that. I go to several news sites. I try to keep them as neutral as I can, and I try to stay away from the opinion bullshit, the Tucker Carlson or the Don Lemon shit.
I do not go to opinion nowadays. Even left and right, where they say that they're a news program, it's all opinion anyway. So you have to actually
go on like the AP anymore and get just news.
It's got to be your own research. You have to actually find numbers and data and stuff from different organizations and stuff. But again, numbers and data and organizations misconstrued by multiple people. CDC.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
okay. Yeah, I'm not saying I have a clear picture either, Phil. I'm just saying I'm not just going to regurgitate the same bullshit that Anderson Cooper spits out or that Tucker Carlson spits out. All right. I'm going to go take a piss and cool off.
Let's just admit that the left and the right are the media and all this stuff. It's all propaganda. It's all bullshit, left to right. It doesn't matter. Because I can tell you right now, I used to be an avid watcher of the news, and this is where me and Jimmy agree. I like watching Tucker Carlson, not because I say everything he says is a fact, but he is opinion. He has been on multiple different channels, and as much as people hate him, he actually uses a lot of facts when it comes to the CDC, the FBI, and all that stuff. He's bringing up facts. It's not necessarily hyperbole. Now, are there opinion pieces in there? Absolutely. Do people find a way to go against him and all that stuff? Absolutely. But we're not talking about that. we are talking about races in America. So I believe in Americanism. I believe in once we start separating each other, instead of just being American, that you are Mexican American, African American, all that stuff. If you're coming to America and you are flying the flag of your country that you were in prior, that's not Americanism. I believe that if you come to America to be an American, you're an American. I don't believe I hate PC bullshit where they have to say certain things. People are talking about white privilege and all that stuff. I don't give a shit about all that stuff. Because I can tell you right now, where I grew up poor as shit in a single wide trailer, having hand-me-downs. Yes, I even wear some of my sister's clothes. I had an older sister. I had to wear some of her clothes growing up because, no, I'm not saying like sparkly unicorn shit or any of that stuff, but I grew up very poor. I don't know where my white privilege was at that point, but I believe that people in America can do uh what they need to do as long as they apply themselves, work hard, and work for the American dream. And everybody's like, "Oh, the American dream, white picket fence, and all that stuff." Um, I can tell you what: if you want a white picket fence, if you want that American dream, that specific American dream, then you work for it. You can achieve it. If you want to live in New York or you want to live in these fancy schmancy apartments where you pay $5 billion a month to sit here and have a 200 square foot studio apartment, that's your American dream, you can achieve it. I do not believe, and this is just my own personal experience. Again, I do not believe if you have your mind set on something and you work towards it, there are laws on the books and stuff that restrict people being able to deny stuff based off of race and all that stuff. And if that happens and you are part of it or you've experienced it, and is after these laws were passed, by goddamn, sue the fuckers, because there are people that are racist in America. Not gonna lie, but if you are the one that's like, I'm a victim and I can't do anything about it because of my color, race, creed, whatever, and that, oh, they were discriminating against me because of my color, and you have proof of it and you don't sue them and you don't win, that just means you don't care that much.
Phil, God damn it.
So that's my opinion. I believe that anybody can achieve the American dream of being who they want to be and building who they want to be and where they want to grow to and all that stuff. I believe that that is possible, and it's not detrimental based off race or anything. I believe that is about inspiration and about drive and pushing to achieve that dream. And if you are the one that says, I'm a victim in everything, then you are not going to achieve that dream, because I can tell you right now, the American dream is not going to be handed to you. You have to work for it.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, even if you're white, you have to work for the American dream. If you're black, brown, I don't know, is yellow offensive? Asian or Oriental or whatever y'all call it now. I don't know what the fucking proper terminology is.
Asian Americans. Yeah.
No, I don't believe in Asian Americans. I don't believe in African Americans. I believe
I
in
believe
Americans.
in Americans. I believe in Americans too. That is the thing that we do agree on.
So if you quit separating yourself,
Quit labeling yourself shit.
quit labeling yourself and just drive for what you want to do, I'm telling you, like, I'm going to give an example. And it may not work for everybody because, again, I'm white and I have that white privilege. My YouTube
Take
channel.
it down a half a notch, Groovy. I'm just trying to keep you out of trouble. Take it down about a half a notch on that one.
I'm just saying.
I want you to make it to retirement. So just
on
that
YouTube
was a joke.
itself,
You was joking.
I was joking. But on YouTube itself, my channel is where it's at because I worked hard for it. I did a lot of videos. I did challenges. I did all this stuff. Did I get to where I am on YouTube? I'm not a big channel by any means, but did I get to where I am on YouTube because I'm white, or because I had good content, or because they enjoyed having my daughter on the stream with me and videos.
I think
It
you
had
got to
nothing
where
to do with
you
the color
are.
of my skin.
You're just a good person. People want to hang out with you because you're a good dude.
It has nothing to do with the color of my skin.
Nope.
But if I wasn't getting these views or any of that stuff, would I in today's America or today's society, I'd be able to say, oh, well, that white guy over there, he has more views or more subscribers because he's white and I don't because I'm black. We talk about fuck, I can't even think.
Well,
We talk about judging people by their character.
yeah.
And
That's Martin Luther
character,
King. You
not the
judge them
color.
by their character. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm really drunk and I was really trying to remember the name and I apologize.
Mhm.
It wasn't being detrimental or racist, everybody. I just couldn't remember because I'm really drunk. But when people judge people based off the content of the character, not the color of their skin, everybody's equal. And B Lady says, no offense, but when I go live, I don't see anyone I know over here show up. Well,
when do you go live? I've never caught you live.
and that has nothing to do with race. That's just, well, one, most of us are working if you're doing it during the day or sleeping.
If it's the weekends, I can't show up, but I would 100% show up on one of your streams.
It has nothing, but that has nothing to do with race. It has to be with people's schedule, and it has to do all this stuff. It has nothing to do with race. But if you're gonna blame that on race, then you're falling into that victim mentality. In my mind, my opinion, you're falling into that today's society victim mentality that says, "Oh, it's everybody else's fault, or it's everybody else's problem that I'm not succeeding in life." And I don't accept that. And that is, again, my personal opinion. I'm not trying to downplay anybody. It has nothing to do with race. It has to do with what time you go live, if you're going live when somebody else is already going live, and people can go live whenever the fuck they want. I got it. But if you're expecting the same results, if you are going live at 1 p.m., where the majority of people that are on this stream right now are working, you're not going to get the people that are here because they're fucking working. And that has nothing to do with race. It just has to do with that's a bad time to go live. And I'm not saying that to be derogatory.
Well, the victim mentality comes from just what I was yelling at Phil about and what Phil's talking about. The victim mentality comes from people are going to tell you that, oh yeah, you're a victim and these are the people that did you wrong. And by the way, watch this Colgate commercial or watch Alex Trebek sell you some life insurance.
I'm more interested in watching Jerry Springer reruns at that time. If I'm off
Jerry
work.
Springer, man, was that not a good show? You ever watch the Steve Wilkos show? Oh, we're off topic.
Yeah. We got to stay on because we got to get the chat involved here in a second.
I would never yell at you, Phil. I did yell at you, but I would never do it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks, that I got a little heated, but maybe it wasn't a bad thing. We do have to be very careful, and that sucks in itself. That really does suck in itself. That we do have to be very careful. As much as we are talking about,
I just want to. And no comments on my videos. B Lady, I can tell you right now, personal experience, me, besides people like Jimmy or Saucy, where I'm like, hey, awesome video or stuff like that, and I don't comment on many people's videos. I'll watch, I'll give them watch time, I'll give a thumbs up. I don't comment. And why bother? Because you love what you do. That's why me and Jimmy do this stream. That's why Clouds and Stouts does their thing. We love doing it. And I can tell you right now, if we had one viewer here right now, we'd still be doing this show.
I did a year's worth of live streams talking to one person, and that was usually one of my kids or Marcedale. And I would talk to him like I was talking to 1 million people because I loved doing this. That's why I do it.
But that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with racism. I think it just has to do with people, society as a whole. I can tell you right now, I put up videos where I have 2 or 3,000 views, and I maybe have one person or two people that I actually know that are on these streams and hang out with me that actually comment on the shit. Most of the time, it's random people. So
Yeah.
it's okay. YouTube is not America. YouTube is the world. And I can tell you right now, people in America, we're actually pretty good people, regardless of
That's what I was
race,
saying
creed,
earlier.
religion.
99% of people are good. They're good-hearted. They have the best of intentions, and they have a lot of empathy for folks. But we are all very opinionated, and unfortunately, most of us get tribalized, and you label yourself as this or that. You start flying flags in your yard, and you label yourself as one thing, and that means that everybody that's not part of your thing is now your enemy, and they're the ones fucking your life up. And
If that's the case, if we thought that way, me and Jimmy would be mortal enemies.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we would.
Y'all have heard our opinions. You have heard our personal opinions on when it comes to our life experiences. Now, there is a massive amount of things out there that go along with race and racism and all that stuff. So, starting now, if there is something you would like to hear our opinion on, or something that you would like to hear us discuss, and I'm sorry if there's a bunch of y'all, we can't get to everyone because again, I have to work tomorrow, so I can't be here till 2 a.m.
Yeah, and there are certain topics that we will not discuss, and we should be able to, but we can't. You got to understand that too. Neither one of us are going to lose our jobs over this thing, but if we can talk about it, we will.
So if there is something that you want to talk about or you want us to discuss, now chat is the time. Put it in the chat, and we will go through it. And
if I tell you I'm passing on that one, just respect.
Well, Jimmy, I'm gonna let you pick the first one based off what comes in. So hopefully, some people have some stuff that comes in. Man, maybe I got a little bit too enlightened with all that whiskey before, man, because I'm having trouble.
I'm at that perfect level, but vodka does that to me. Like vodka gets me in the right mind, even though I have ripped the microphone stand in half and yelled at my godfather Phil.
Wait, you tore your microphone stand in half today?
No, a long time ago.
I know when you broke it before.
That was my old mic stand. It was one of these debates, and I'm as angry inside as everybody else. I have as much anger and fear about the world and where we're going as anybody else does. So don't ever misconstrue that from me. I'm very much worried about the country.
People here. We have 30 fucking people here watching this shit.
What's your opinion on dealing with mental health?
Mental health of what when it comes to racism?
Raven the Blackbird, Antifa. I'm not touching it. Sorry. Groovy, don't need to touch that one either. Yeah. We can't touch it right now. In 5 years, we'll be all over it. But neither one of us, we got too much to lose by touching that one. Antifa, BLM, all those kind of groups like that. I don't think either one of us can safely say much about that shit.
The only thing I will say about Antifa or BLM, point blank, they're predominantly white people, white rich people that have a certain agenda. And if you believe in equality and everything, you wouldn't necessarily.
Here's one thing I'll say about Antifa and BLM. They sold a shit ton of T-shirts, didn't they? Both of them.
Yeah, they did. Money. All right. JDQ says, I actually dealt with the boss when I was in termite control. That man was extremely racist, and I left that job and came trucking. What would y'all's opinion be on that? My opinion on that is if people are racist, like legit racist, not what society says is racist, because if I agree with the political left, I'm racist. And because I'm a nationalist, Americanist, I'm a racist. If they're legit racist, like, I don't like him because of the color of his skin, and that makes him an idiot. Yeah, I distance myself from them, and I have nothing to do with those people.
I will tell you guys this too, and man, I had a hell of a thought in my head, and the vodka just sucked it right out of my ear. Give me just a second. Oh man, it was good. It was good. Damn, it's gone.
This is the problem with drunk philosophers, man. We have
It
good
is.
ideas, and then it just goes away.
White privilege. Jason Sterling says, white privilege. I worked on a farm since I was 15. Everything I got, I worked my ass off for. White privilege had nothing to do with it. I will tell you, Jason, I, like you, being white, I have a hard time seeing it. But I don't need some 20-year-old social justice warrior gatekeeper that's in their second year of college yelling in my face about it either. There may be a little bit of truth to that, but that's for me and you to discover. That's not for some 20-year-old to line our ass out about, if that makes any sense to you. So maybe that's something that me and you, in our hearts of hearts, got to look into, and maybe there's nothing to it. But I think this goes back to the tribalization and the yelling, and there's a lot of young folks that feel like they got a lot of power and authority over folks.
Hint, hint, you don't.
They start this gatekeeping shit, and they'll use these little words that they know will just end the conversation, because they've always got that trump card in their pocket.
No, because here's how conversations end. This is how arguments end. If people are so afraid today of being called a racist or anything that as soon as you say something and they say that's racist, people shut up. And that's exactly what we're having this conversation. It's about understanding what actual racism is, which we discussed with the definition, and what society as a whole today sees as racism. Because what society sees as racism today is not the definition of racism, but they use, I'm not saying they as in left or right, I'm saying everybody uses the term racism to shut somebody up because, quite honestly, and again, I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. I'm saying, but it is used as a political cudgel to shut somebody else up because everybody is so afraid of being labeled a racist.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I appreciate the young folks that are out there and trying to promote the end of racism and all that, but I'm not down with the super touchy gatekeepers, the ones that can't wait for you to say one word wrong, one misstep. Even though you may have the best of intentions in your conversation, they're waiting for you to say that one wrong phrase, that one wrong word, and then they destroy you. They just jump down your throat, and you are completely fucking helpless, especially if it's in a work setting. I'm not down with that. That's bullshit. And if I lose my job in one of those conversations, I lose my job. I will go down swinging, because I guarantee you, I've got the best of intentions for everybody, and I've got nothing but love for everybody. And I don't need some fucking 20-year-old trying to tell me about life. I'm 50 fucking years old.
And that's exactly the thing. Like, you point out actual racism, I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you and fight it. But if you bring me some PC bullshit that says because somebody said that America has a set of culture and stuff that people should, because we're a melting pot and bring everything into it, and like, if you don't subscribe to this, you're a racist. If you say that's racism, no, I don't buy that. But if you show me actual racism,
Yeah.
I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you and fight it. I don't like racists. I don't like any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to show me actual racism. Don't just give me the trigger or what the buzzword or dog whistle of racism, unless you actually show me racism, I don't believe you.
Now, Phil's talking about the cancel culture.
Oh, hold on. We got to say what Dylan said. He said, all I got to say is everyone and anyone, no matter what skin color they are or whatever, if they treat me with respect, I do the same. If they don't, they're cut completely out of my life, bottom line. So it has nothing to do with skin color. It's all about being a person and being respectful of other people. And that's what we're trying to push towards. That's what this is about. It's about having discussions, those uncomfortable discussions, and seeing people, their opinions. Just because they have a different opinion than you, they are not your fucking enemy.
Can you highlight Phil's second to last comment, the cancel culture one? Yeah, that one. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. And then highlight his next comment. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about, Phil.
Tribalism, man.
When you are pointing to the lefties and you start labeling everybody a lefty, everybody that voted for Joe Biden is a lefty. It's the same thing, man. I don't judge you by the extreme right-wing media and the nonsense that's coming out of that any more than you should judge me for the Anderson Coopers and the Don Lemons and all these social justice warriors, the fucking virtue signaling. I'm so fucking great. I have such a pure heart. I will tell you guys right now, I am not a pure-hearted soul as far as this topic goes. I am learning to be better every day. I'm trying to be better every day. My life experience has made me a better man than, from where I came from. But I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But cancel culture.
Your little dwarf ass is perfect.
Nah, well,
going back. TikTok tights.
Oh, yeah, my TikTok tights. That is pretty perfect. But now going back, this cancel culture bullshit where they go back and dig some fucking tweet up somebody put out 10 years ago and then cancel their ass. That's bullshit. It's a different fucking world than it was 10 years ago. Me and my kids were just talking about this shit the other day. We were talking about the stuff we watched on TV back in the day. We were talking about the movie Master of Disguise, of all the stupid fucking movies to come up.
Turtle.
Do you know how many racially inappropriate jokes and shit are in that thing?
See, but I think comedy should transcend all that stuff. I don't care.
It should. You're exactly right. And I'm saying at the time, for that time period and that culture that existed in that time period, it was acceptable. Should we go back and dig up Master of Disguise and now all of a sudden cancel Dana Carvey? No. Fuck no. That shit was fucking 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You can't go back and dig up the exploitation films we did in the 70s. And I mean, are you going to go back and cancel everybody? People they grow, they try to do better. You said things are getting better. They are. People are more conscious.
No, I said things were getting better.
Well, people are more aware of it now. They're more conscious of it now, and they really do.
Do you think people were not aware of racism and slavery and all that stuff? Were they not aware?
Well, they were, but now there's consequences, right? Like that's why me and you are not touching certain topics up here. There's consequences.
But I'm saying, like you said, I believe things were getting better. Would you agree that things were getting better? Like over time, things were getting better?
Oh yeah. I got to go back to that.
So are things getting worse now? Are things getting worse?
So for you,
for people that say things are getting worse, that means they had to be getting better. Because I'm telling you, racism was different now than it is back in the times when slaves and everything. That was true racism, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So for people to say that racism is getting worse, that means it had to have been getting better.
From the time
what changed it from getting better to all of a sudden getting worse? And if you say President Trump, I swear to God, because you got to show me proof of that shit. Because I haven't seen it yet, and nobody has shown me that shit yet.
Who has been the most in the last, let's say the last 5 presidents? Who has been the most accepting and openly welcoming of illegal immigrants of the last 5 presidents?
Joe Biden.
Tell me. No.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Based off the last 10 months, absolutely.
Go
Even
back and look at.
Even
I want you.
Obama,
I want you to go back and
even
go
President.
back
Hold
and
on,
look up.
I'm going to talk about Bill Clinton here in a second,
Okay.
and I'm
No,
going to
I'm
talk
not
about
talking
Bush
about
too.
Bill Clinton.
I'm going to talk about Bush too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, but all these people that worship, I get. I that was hyperbole. I didn't mean to say that.
Mhm.
People that supported Obama. Obama was saying illegal immigration is wrong. Period. Stop doing it.
Hey,
Bush.
when this is over, you're taking the stream down, brother. Okay.
Yes, I am. Bush was a big proponent of illegal immigration. Why? Because he was about corporatism, and he was about helping out big corporations because they would use illegal immigration.
Oh, you mean he wasn't just a friend of the Latinos, even though he was up there speaking Spanish?
Oh,
he was
no,
trying to
he
make
was
money
not.
off of them, was he not?
He was. He was.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing: you have people like Bush. They say Republican. Again, I am not Republican or Democrat. I'm a conservative. I'm an American conservative. I'm not Republican nor Democrat.
Clinton was against illegal immigration in a big way.
Clinton was until his wife started running for president.
No,
and
Clinton was.
Remember
the story. Remember the story I told you guys. Remember when I moved back to Arkansas? What I told you.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is Arkansas is a Clinton country, guess who was president then?
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was president then. And guess who was real good fucking friends with Don Tyson, the guy that was busting them in here as fast as
that's Clinton compadre.
Yeah. So guess who made a shit ton of money and all of a sudden got a little bit easier on the illegal immigration viewpoint. It's just money, folks. This is all a stupid big fucking game. They trick you into being some kind of, where you think you're part of some group, where you think you're part of some tribe. We're not part of shit. We are just
we should be part of the American tribe. Period.
We should be, but we're just the fodder that catches a little bit of scraps on the way down of what these folks that we all look up to and worship, right and left. They're all in the same fucking goddamn boat. They're all riding off in the same yacht together, giving each other hand jobs.
But before we continue, B Lady says Clinton was at least entertaining. If you do not think that President Trump was not entertaining,
no,
President Trump was entertaining. He may have been entertaining to a place where people didn't like it, like with the mean tweets and everything. But if you don't think President Trump was not an entertaining president, y'all are lying to yourself. Even Jimmy has to admit that he was interested in stuff. He was entertaining. Even if he didn't like what he was doing, President Trump was the most entertaining
I couldn't stop watching it.
Ever.
I couldn't stop watching it. That's for sure.
Exactly. So President Trump was the most entertaining president ever. I can tell you right now, President Trump got more people into politics than any other president in the past. Period.
Well, Clinton's a close second because while Clinton was doing nasty things with cigars and shooting loads all over a navy blue dress in the White House in the Oval Office.
Hey guys, I want to play the saxophone and I want to stick a cigar in Monica Lewinsky's pussy. It's gonna be great.
But here's the thing. At the same time, he balanced the fucking budget. He actually did some shit, man.
No, he did not balance a budget. I hate that. Presidents are figureheads. They're the head of the snake. They don't balance shit.
Who balanced it then? Newt Gingrich?
The Congress. The Congress and the House balanced a budget. It had nothing to do with Bill Clinton. He signed shit. Just like President Trump wanted to balance. And again, We are not getting political. We're just pointing out facts.
Oh, we are going to
President
have that political debate one of these nights. Oh,
Yeah,
God
one
damn.
of these days,
We'll be
after
like,
I retire,
"Ah,
we're going to have these debates. But President Trump wanted to balance a budget. He wanted to do certain things. But again, all of these presidents, just the same way that Obama didn't balance a budget, even when he had a supermajority, and President Trump didn't have a balanced budget once they had a supermajority, it had to do with Congress supporting themselves. They
You-
had job security. It is the Congress and the House that
you
balances the
ever feel
budget
like-
and comes up with all this stuff.
Do you
So
ever
for
just feel
everybody
like
say,
a mark?
"Oh,
You ever just feel like
what?
a mark, like a sucker, like a mark, like you've been had? You ever feel that way?
I think people that don't understand how the government actually works is a mark or a sucker."
Do you not think that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell just have wonderful fucking dinners with each other at least once a week?
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they have disgusting reptilian sex. It's
Well,
disgusting.
I'm telling you, if you are a hardcore anti Nancy Pelosi, but you love all these, Jim Jordans and people like that in the House of Representatives, you're a fool. They're all in the same goddamn.
I will tell you what I love about people in Congress and the House.
Mm-hmm.
I love people that, whether they are left or right, let's say California. Guess what? I love Adam Schiff. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. He was elected by a certain people to do a certain job. I like it when people in the House and Congress do what the fucking people that elected them to do, they actually do it. So Jim Jordan, you don't like Jim Jordan. Guess what? The people in his state elected him to do a certain thing, and he is doing what the people elected him to do. You may not like it, but he is doing his fucking job. He was elected by a certain group of people.
Mm-hmm.
He won the election to do a certain job.
Well,
I hate people.
Even you can watch Jim Jordan when he's going off on one of these, when Congress brings people to testify and stuff like that. You're right. He's doing his job, and he's doing a great job at his job.
For his state, for the people that he represents in his state that elect him to do, is he speaking those people's mind, the majority, and doing what he was elected to do? Absolutely. Same thing with Mitch McConnell. Same with Ron DeSantis.
The thing is, though, when we're watching those folks, you can see through that, though, right? You can see through the theatrics on the left and the right.
But I hope you can. It has nothing to do with theatrics. It has nothing to do with
I think it's a lot of theatrics.
This is what I want. I know we're side straddling racism, but this is a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Congress and the House. All I want people to do in our government is to do what the people elected them to do.
And then get the fuck out.
Democrats. If you were to sweep 40 states, have the president of the United States, and do all this stuff, if you were to take all those, guess what? That means the majority of Americans voted for you to do a certain thing, and you do what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Republicans or conservatives or right wing, whatever. If you hold a 80% of the majority, you have the president of the United States and all that stuff, that means America voted for you to do a certain thing. What I'm tired of, what I hate about the United States government is the fact that people run on stuff to get elected, and then it becomes personal interest. It becomes, I don't know how Nancy Pelosi is now a multimillionaire.
That's weird, isn't it?
The fact of the matter is, people are supposed to go and represent the people. You should not be getting inside trades. You should not be getting all this stuff. You are there. I don't want people to be career politicians. I want people from the states. What used to happen in Congress and the House is people from the states would get elected. They would still hold jobs in your state. They would go and they would talk to their people, and then they would go to Washington and vote on stuff based on the people they talk about. That's not what it's about anymore. So yes, I want term limits. This is where conservatism comes into play. Conservatism. Government. And I will even say conservatism / libertarian, not liberal, libertarian. Government. You do not have control of my life.
Even the libertarian, Yeah.
and do what you're
Even the
supposed to do.
libertarian party's fucked up. Because you know why? They got in there.
I
And the
didn't say the
money.
party. I just said libertarian.
Well,
Again, I'm conservative, so I kind of fall into the Republican Party, but I have conservative beliefs. I vote based off what people present. It has nothing to do with if they are R or D, because as I said, President Obama, the first time President Obama was president, I voted for President Obama because I vote on what they present. Now, when I found out that President Obama, and I'm so glad he's out of office so I can talk shit now. When President Obama was president the second term, fuck that guy because everything around he was full of fucking shit. Hope and change, fuck you. You wanted to divide the nation, in my opinion. So I did not vote for him the second time. That's just what it is. The government and all this stuff fosters the racism sort of split diversity left. And again, racism, we're talking about differences. As I said, tribalism. People that are different, they build animosity towards each other.
Well, it's because it's somebody else's fault. Your problems are somebody else's fault. We got to get over that shit.
Why are left and right at each other's throats and it's all or nothing? That's not the way America was.
Left and right should never argue about anything other than how much money we're going to spend on the military and if we're going to build this fucking bridge or not. That's all the left and right should ever be arguing about. But now we've turned it into this moral high ground combat where it's
and
good
racism plays
evil.
A huge part in that in today's society.
Where it's good versus evil. That's bullshit. That should never enter your mind when you're at the voting station. That shouldn't. Good versus evil? What the fuck are you talking about? They're politicians. They're all fucking evil.
So if you believe the left is evil or the right is evil, whatever you believe, that means that you think someone on this panel is evil. Yeah. Because you have it ensued into your brain that because somebody believes a certain way or thinks a certain way, that they're evil. That is not true. I'm a conservative, not Republican. I'm conservative. Jimmy is more liberal.
I'm very much like if I could just open up the banks and give everybody everything, I would. Borderline communist. I'm that liberal.
Well, if you're a communist, I might hate you. But
I just said that
I'm
to
just
piss
saying,
people off. But,
when people separate each other in tribes, and this is where I'm saying, whatever happened to just being American? Whatever happened to looking out for the best interest? I don't believe that our budget, where 40% of America's budget should go to foreign countries. I believe we should take care of our own country before we take care of anybody else.
Well, there's something we agree on. I think we should have closed down all the fucking bases and brought everybody home 20 years ago. Why do we...
hold on. Yeah. White privilege really happens in the world. The thing that is too many white folks don't acknowledge it. Moose Gal, again, this is a brutally honest stream. Welcome to the stream. I'm telling you right now, that answer right there is fucking horseshit. Because I can tell you right now, white privileges, there is nowhere in America right now that you can't sue the fuck out of a company. If somebody discriminates you based off color, you can sue and be a fucking multimillionaire. Show me one example. Show me one example in the modern world that a black person and a white person go for the same job. If the black person is more qualified and all that stuff, show me an example of somebody that doesn't get that job because they're black. You can't. Because if you do, that person was sued to fucking oblivion and that company is gone. There's no white privilege. It's all about drive. I don't believe that. But everybody has that victim mentality that because, it's the color of my skin. No, it's because the other person was fucking better than you. It is not a PC fucking campus culture. You have to fucking drive and do what you want to do to get the American dream. If you are not better than the other person, guess what? You're not getting the fucking job.
Groovy, you're getting in some touchy shit here. That's going to be bad for you. 13 minutes from now, this thing's going to be over. And it's going to be gone forever.
And then
I feel you, man. I have a lot of the same kind of feelings. And I have a lot of the same kind of feelings. Isn't that fucking weird? But we are getting into some territory.
Okay, B
Please
lady,
don't
show me proof. Show me proof.
please
Because
don't
unless you have
direct
proof,
this to the point
anecdotal
where
stuff doesn't count.
Travis is still active. Please don't get my man in trouble. We will do this in some after party. We will do this in some private streams if you want to continue that. And we do know that it was going to go this way when we set this up. But as your friends, we're just asking if we say we will answer this in private, we'll answer it in private. And we'll leave this up. And right before he ends it, Travis will put the link out there for this right here. You can come and hang out with us, but it'll be private if you want to air some shit out with us. But we're not doing it live on YouTube because I can't have my little brother fucking up his retirement because he's got to come to OG Fest next year. I can't have him fucking that up. Okay, so here we go. Let's take it down a notch now. What's the main?
I'm just saying. I'm staying cool. I just if you're saying that this is what happens, all I'm asking for is proof. Because unless you have proof, it's anecdotal. And again, I said I'm trying to stay away from facts and numbers and stuff. But if you are going to say this is happening, you got to show me something, or else it's just.
Highlight Moose Gal's last comment. And let me take this home for you. Cancel culture, but accountability culture. Travis, turn your camera off and shit. I don't even want you commenting on this. Cancel culture versus accountability culture. Moose Gal, I wish that it was just about accountability. And I wish it was just about not just equality, but we talked about that equity, where everybody can see over the same fence. I wish that we could get to that point. But the truth is that people are people. If they find a way for their problems to be somebody else's fault, they're going to go there. They're going to take that easy way out. Now, am I saying that there's not problems, that there's not white privilege? Of course there is. It just takes us to look inside of ourselves to find that. But it's hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. As a 50-year-old guy that has busted my ass my whole life, worked my ass off. Believe me, you guys have seen me. I get up and I go work 45 hours in 3 days. It's really hard for me to listen to some 20-year-old kid yelling in my face about my privilege when I have worked my ass off for everything I've ever had. So, accountability culture. I do like the fact that it's getting harder and harder for people to take advantage of other people. But as far as accountability culture versus cancel culture, I think it's still the same thing. I think you're not going towards equality or equity. You're going towards payback and revenge. And that will never work. It's going to take people coming together, having compassion for each other, understanding our missteps, and helping each other be better every day. But as far as accountability culture, that's just another name for cancel culture for me. All right, Groovy, I'm done. I hope Groovy made it.
Sorry, I was setting up the after party.
Hell yeah. I'm going to go pee, throw out some final thoughts, and I'll be right back.
So, again, I didn't mean to get elevated. It's just, I'm tired of today's culture just saying, oh, well, because I say this, it's a fact. I don't accept that. You have to prove to me. It has been it's been a long road. I believe that things have gotten better over time. I think that social media and I believe the media and everything has instigated and made stuff worse. But again, that's just my opinion. And B Lady says some folks want the world to be how they are. Unfortunately, it is not.
Exactly.
Well, the question is, how do you change that? The question is, do you add to the situation? When you wake up in the morning, do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to be a positive or a negative in the day? Are you going to
You
add to the stereotype or the persona of that everything is horrible
you
and the world is falling around it? Or are you going to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm going to be a positive today. I'm going to prove to people that's not how the world is. And I'm going to make a positive influence on people's lives. That is how I see the world.
you
This
will
morning,
never change anybody's heart by slapping them in the face.
you change
But you
somebody's
will.
heart and mind by who you are as a person, what they see. Because I'm telling you right now, take for instance, if I was fishing, on, I don't know much about fishing, but let's say I was fly fishing on a river, right? And there was a little kid, boy or girl, doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter the color either. That is right down the river from me. They can see me. They're not catching anything. Like whatever they're doing is not working. And they look over to me, fishing from the bank, fly fishing, whatever. They look at how I cast. They look at how I tie my fly or whatever it is. And I'm catching an abundance of fish, right? And they look at me and they say, you know what? I need to adapt. I need to see how that person's doing it. And I'm seeing achievement. I'm seeing progressiveness in life when it comes to what I see him do. That is where you make the fucking difference. What you say means jack and shit to people in today's world, but it's how you live your life and what they see. And it's not even what you show to people when you're on stream or when you're in life. It's when you don't even know they're fucking looking and they say, you know what, I want to be like that person. I want to be like that guy or that girl. I want to find out what they're doing, that little something special that can help me get a leg up in life. And that is where you make the difference. That is where you make the difference. That is what
Raven,
being a leader is about.
yeah, Raven, bring up Raven's comment. He doesn't want me to touch it yet, but I'm gonna touch it. It's at the very last
Which one? Oh, okay.
People are being tagged for flying a fuck Biden flag. Don't touch it yet. I'm gonna touch it. Look, I don't care what flag you fly, whatever stupid shit. Like I told you, you're never gonna change any hearts and minds by slapping people in the face. You're never gonna beat your opinion into somebody else. You may beat compliance into them, but you're never going to change their heart and mind. That's a big thing, right? Changing hearts and minds. We've heard that shit for the last 20 years, right? Changing
Especially
hearts
in
and
the
minds.
military.
Yeah. Have you ever changed anybody's heart and mind on social media?
Nope,
Have
we've
you
given them a lot
ever?
of free shit though.
Yeah. Have you ever melted anybody like, oh shit, I was completely fucking wrong. God damn, you're right, man. Uh, let me change everything about me. No, all they're doing is they're out there looking for somebody that's going to give them a better zinger meme to pop back on Facebook to retaliate. It's a never-ending cycle of bullshit, folks. It is a never-ending cycle of shit. The only people that can stop it are not Tucker Carlson or Don Lemon or Anderson Cooper or Alex Jones. It's us. We're
That's
the
right.
only people that can stop it.
And
That's
that's
why
exactly why we have these conversations.
that is what we are doing this shit for. That is why we stuck our fucking necks out for this. this is how this channel was born, because it was one of these conversations, and we were just like, why the fuck can't we do this live? And me and Groovy were like, you know what? We're fucking doing it because it's important.
I mean, as much as we got kind of excited at certain times, I think for two white guys, I think this conversation went pretty well.
We have no authority to speak on any of this, but we spoke our truth about it.
And well, I don't like words like our truth. There's only the truth. But I think we had a productive discussion, and here's the thing. You learn more from people that you disagree with than people that you agree with.
Oh, yeah.
So if something that I said or that Jimmy said you disagree with, it either softened some of your core values or beliefs, or it hardened your core values and beliefs, because you have opposite sides of the spectrum. We had a discussion where we said both sides are personal opinions, personal experiences. Yes, we are white, but guess what, people? We discussed it earlier. Like if I was one of three white kids in the school in Compton, would racism still be present because I was a white kid against all the minorities or whatever in Compton? I don't know. I believe that racism goes both ways. So it's not just white people. So stop believing that lie too.
Racism is not a racist idea. All cultures have racism. You want to see the most racist people in the world? And man, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but the most racist folks in the world live in China. Look at how they treat fucking anybody that's not Chinese. Just go look at that. Do your own research. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to me. Check that out. Asian cultures, a lot of cultures from around the world, Middle Eastern cultures, Asian cultures, it's acceptable over there because they are still the way we were in the 50s. Now, do we ever want to go back to that? No, we don't. It's a hard road, and it's going to take a toll on all of us. But I think it's very important that we do finally get over this hump. And you know what? This is what I wish, Groovy. I wish every baby from this day forward was born a nice, just in the middle skin tone, and it didn't matter anymore. That's what I wish would happen.
I don't know, Jimmy. I just don't care about skin tone. That's me. Yeah. And not saying I don't see color, because that's a bullshit answer. I see color.
It is. That's like
I just don't care. It has no weight when it comes to a discussion. When it comes to a person. If you're an asshole and you're white, you're an asshole. If you're an asshole and you're black or Asian or Hispanic, you're an asshole. If you're a great person on any of those races, you're a great person. I don't give a flying fuck what color you are.
Yeah.
And if you are judging somebody based off color, just based off color alone, not their character, not anything else, you can go fuck yourself, everybody. If you're one of those people. And I will stand arm in arm with everybody else, and I will fucking crush your fucking soul into a million pieces.
Asexual would be fucking awesome, Phil. All right, you ready to kick off this after party?
Fuck. Oh man, hold on.
If we were all asexual, you could go fuck yourself.
All right, Jimmy. Let me get the link, and I'll put it in the private stream for you, and then I'm gonna put it out to everybody else when it goes on the stream. But. Everybody, I think as much as I was really worried about tonight, and as much as I was worried that people were going to get offended, and some people, like even myself, kind of got raised for a minute. That's just, I think that's kind of the tribalism and stuff that comes up. But I think
it is.
I think that we actually had a great discussion. Would you agree, Jimmy?
I think it was a good discussion. I think people are still... Just watching the chat, people are still having a hard time letting go of the tribal aspect of this. And I get it because it's hard. It really is hard because people are pointing fingers at you, telling you you're a fucking asshole because of all the shit that you've done or your ancestors have done, and they're not judging you for you, the person. We all do it. Everybody does it. It's horrible.
But I'm saying,
We should just knock that shit up.
I think without like completely shutting down people, I think we actually had a decent discussion tonight. Did we solve any problems? No.
No,
Did we have
we
a
didn't solve
discussion
shit.
about what's going on in the world today? Yes. Did we upset
We
some
we
people?
may have set a
Probably.
precedent for two white guys talking about this and it being okay. That may be the one good thing we did in the universe. That may be our YouTube superpower of good tonight. I hope. That's the best I can hope for.
I don't know, chat. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you actually got some out of it because that's what this is all about. It's about having people have these discussions that people are too scared to have live. And you know what, Jimmy? If you're okay with it, I'm not taking this one down. We didn't do anything super offensive, and I think that it could be a good example for people in the world. If you need me to take it down, I'll take it down.
I want you to hang out with me for just about 5 minutes after you end this before you start the next one, because I do need to talk to you about one thing that
Okay.
you said on here.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can do it in the after party because the after party is probably going to go private anyway. So I'm not ashamed of anything I said, but if we need to
you
talk
shouldn't
about,
be
we'll
ashamed of it. But I'm just saying, there's probably a couple things that you need to trim out of this for you.
we can talk about trimming.
Okay.
But I hope that everybody here enjoyed the stream. I really do. Again, we are putting, I wouldn't say career on the line. I didn't say anything that I think that I would get like my career taken away.
We are risking the wrath of the
social
virtue
media,
signaling social justice warriors. We are risking that. So yes.
But I hope everybody in chat enjoyed. We still have 26 people here.
That's
We've
awesome.
been at a steady 30, which has been a great stream. I hope people, if they were offended, I hope they weren't turned off. I hope they actually stayed and listened. Because as much as if you're offended by something that me or Jimmy says, hopefully you don't all of a sudden think that we are racist people or we have this like animosity, and that's not what it's about. But we love you all, and the after party link is
Let me try this again. Hold on. How did fuck me?
dude, it's just curl the top fingers. Curl.
I can't do it.
No, just curl like you're trying to grab a midget penis or your penis.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I got that.
And then just put the thumb down and look, it makes a heart. Just do it on both hands. No, thumbs down. Thumbs down. There you go. It's a heart, brother. That's it. That's it. I'm proud of you.
Love y'all. That's killing my hands.
But I hope that y'all have got some out of it. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I was really nervous about this stream, but I think that we actually fulfilled what we set to do and have this discussion. Eileen, thank you. And for the Jacob, I know already left, and Eileen for the super chat earlier. I said I was going to do it at the very end. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you.
Phil's figured me out. I have no heart, just the empty black hole right here in my chest.
And again, people, if you're offended, that's not what we're here for. We're not trying to offend people. We're just trying to have an open conversation, which people in America want to have these conversations, but they're too scared to. And I can tell you what, I have huge squirrel balls. I do. I got huge squirrel nuts.
I wanted that to be my squirrel so bad, but he already picked another one out for me.
But I want to have these conversations because people are too scared to have these conversations, and that's what this whole stream is about. And it may take us some liquid courage to have these conversations, but I think that these are beneficial. So if you watch this, you enjoyed it, or even if you differ from opinion, hopefully you see that we are willing to engage in that discussion. and not shut people off, because that's where society breaks down, is where you don't let other people speak their opinions. And with that, guys, we're about to head to the after party. I posted the link. I love you guys. I love everybody. And we will see you at the after party. Jimmy, you were fucking phenomenal tonight. And I was
Thank you, man.
phenomenal tonight.
You were awesome, man, and I was not going to do this, but I could not do this. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't do this tonight. So it was awesome. I loved it.
Oh yeah, okay. So we will see you at the after party, everybody. Peace. We love you. Have a good one, guys.